Hi, this is a vid response to Dread's Fact or Fiction vlog from a couple of days ago. It's a really, as with everybody, it's a really strange question to answer. As a young kid, I get a lot of memories of running about in my camouflage with my toy gun, playing with Action Force, or G.I. Joe as it turned into. But I grew up playing with toy soldiers. What did I do with them? I mean, I found these the other day at Mum's. There's still hundreds of them. I picked up a few that had been painted. That's where I learned to start, well, not where I learned, that's where I started painting my miniatures. When I was about 6 or 7, I think it was 7. I used the paints from the tank model that my mum had got me for my birthday to paint my US airborne troops that I had, just because I didn't like the bright green that they were. Well, they were grey. It was the bright green that the other ones I didn't like, so I wanted them. Anyway, I painted them. But when it came to actual wargaming and role playing and stuff like that, every game I've played I've sort of fell into. Like right now I play Malifaux more than anything else, and that's purely because it's the game my mate decided to start playing. Yeah, I'm not a great fan of steampunk, but although Malifaux is a steampunk game, there's very little in the way of steampunky stuff. It's more magical and I think there's a very small portion of it that's steampunky. But other than that, it's when I started wargaming, I was invited along to my friend's house. We played the Warhammer Fantasy battle when it was a white pamphlet rather than a big rulebook, and from there we went to buy models, and I didn't buy fantasy models. I bought a squad Imperial Guard. It wasn't even a squad, it was a command squad Imperial Guard. Was it? No, it was a tactical squad. Talking nonsense. Anyway, it was Warhammer 40k or Rogue Trader at the time that we got into. And it was skirmishy type things. I wasn't a big fan of moving blocks of troops, which was my big issue with fantasy. Although I still collected an undead army and a dwarf army. What else did I have? I had something else, but I can't remember what it was. I think I was building an Empire army, but I never got actually finishing it. So it was 40k, that's all we had. I think in 5th year at school, one of my teachers decided, we'll start a wargaming group, and it was me and a handful of other kids went, that's fantastic, because we were all just getting into wargaming. Well, we had them for a few years, except his idea of a wargaming group was, let's all play Napoleonics, and no real interest in it as a kid. And when it came to actually play, we never learned about it at school either, I don't think. I have no recollection of it. I never did history past second year, but never learned it about Napoleonics. So we went along to his class one lunchtime, I think it was, and he gave us all sheets of paper to cut out, and that was it. Our armies were tokens, which you couldn't expect us to turn up. He didn't have any armies that he could do a demo game with. He was just like, here's the very basic rules, here's the very basic tokens, enjoy. And I think what started with about 20 kids fell to about 4 or 5. I don't even know if it carried on, to be honest. So yeah, I really didn't like historic stuff for a long time. And I mean, I grew up in the news, the Falklands War was in the news. I grew up reading all about World War II. When I started getting more into role playing, my brother picked up, as Biz was talking about, Twilight 2000. There we go, Twilight 2000. And although it's modern stuff, it's set that wee bit in the future where it's slightly different. It's World War III, there's been a nuclear war. There's a nuclear war. Anyway, there's been a Third World War and the fallout from that's what you're playing in. So it's modern enough, factual enough without it being factual, for lack of a better word. It's a bit like, I played an awful lot of World of Darkness role playing games like Vampire, Werewolf and Mage, and they were modern day enough and factual enough if you took out the whole mysterious I'm a vampire kind of thing. So like all the weapons, the cars and computers, it was all modern day tech. It was just this offshoot that was the fantastical side of things, and that appeals to me. It just like, I'm trying to think who it was that said it. Was it Pidge? One of the responses, it might even been Dredd himself, mentioned how it's a break from reality that I really enjoy. When it comes to modelling, I don't care what I'm building, factual, non-factual, made up, whatever, I'll build it, enjoy it. Painting, the biggest reason why I have never got into playing Flames of War or anything like that, and I can blame it on one person, Tommy Rees. I used to go about with his brother as a youngster, and so I knew of him, and then when I was working in the supermarket, he started working in the supermarket as well, and got to know him a wee bit better. And once we both left there to go separate ways, he started working in the local model shop, and I never knew he was interested in all these sort of things, but it's in fact only recently I've seen him any interest at all in wargaming. But the models that he could build and paint, I mean, all the dioramas that were in the shop windows and all that sort of stuff, it was Tommy that was doing it, as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong. I think it was DTS Models in East Kilbride. It's not there anymore, but the guys that ran it, or the guy that ran it's still involved in a lot of the scene elsewhere. But just Tommy put me off getting into that sort of thing. I built planes, I built tanks, I built all those things as a youngster, and then I stopped doing it when I got into 40k. And when I came back to actually be a bit more serious about it, once the painting get better, I seen Tommy's stuff, and that was it, no more. I wouldn't touch it at all. In fact, until Bolt Actions came along, I've purposely stayed away from it all. I'd like to get Flames of War stuff. I don't even know if I like playing it, but I just want to buy the stuff to paint. But knowing what Tommy could do to these things, and since then having seen Frank at Worlds at War and the stuff that he does, I just know I'm not even going to attempt to do it. But Bolt Action, because the crews are so small, and again, the figures are so small. It's the group sizes, it's just not skirmish, it's warband size, really. You put a bit more time into them, so I reckon I can do the figures. Tanks, I'm terrified of, because again, I'm constantly thinking what Tommy stuff looks like, and put me right off it. And that's why I've never got into it until now. In fact, I've still not got the stuff yet, but I've never attempted to get into it until now. So that's where I'm coming from. It's not a choice as such. It's through, I was going to say peer pressure. It's not peer pressure, it's just through what my friends have been playing, and the sheer horror at the thought of not being able to produce something as good as Tommy did when it comes to painting tanks. That's exactly why I don't do factual stuff. And none of my friends have ever played Napoleonics or any of the other sort of historic eras. None of the Roman stuff or Viking stuff, like Saga. It's only recently I found folk that would play Saga. And again, I've not got the models for it yet, but it's on the shopping list. Always into reading about history. Egyptian, Christian, European, all that sort of stuff has all been there as my interest, but never within gaming. I think we did try once to do a roleplay based around the Crusaders and the Templars, but again, a lot of that was myth, not fact. But we've never really, apart from Twilight 2000, we've never come close to doing anything based in fact, and I'm trying to change that because I enjoy it too much. In fact, come back to me in a year and I'll probably have a completely different answer, but that'll do for now because I'm aware that the kids are attempting to find things to attack me with, so I will leave it there.